Hi there, guys. It is the Truth Factor where we do headlines with an attitude. We have all of these little tweets and articles archived in the Wixit in the description in the box below. So we're going to just hop into it. Hi there, Heidi. How are you, sister? Well, we're going to go ahead and make sure that's over just in case. I've got a lot to share today. All righty. You be careful driving, sister. All right, so we're going to start with this first crazy thing. I think it happened yesterday. It happened Monday. It was in Sydney, a church stabbing. A boy, 16, arrested after a bishop was attacked. A 16-year-old boy has been arrested after a bishop and several churchgoers were stabbed during a sermon in Sydney. The incident happened on Monday evening at the Good Shepherd Church in the suburb of Waikowhai. At least 4 people were stabbed, but police said none of their injuries were life-threatening. The incident triggered unrest as hundreds gathered outside the church, clashing with police, and 2 of them were injured. Vehicles were damaged as people threw stones, bricks, and bottles, and according to Reuters news agency, police fired pepper spray. Witnesses said that the people gathered were demanding for the attacker to be brought outside. Police said that they had responded in numbers to the incident and urged the public to keep away from the area. New South Wales Acting Assistant Commissioner Andrew Holland said the 16-year-old suspect has been treated for wounds to his hand. He added he had also been taken to a secure location. This is a renowned known bishop. My son watches him on TikTok, I believe, and he said he was shocked. He's the one that actually brought this to me. Excuse the noise in the background. We have a situation with the our bathroom, and so he's doing some work. Anyway. We have the U.S. and U.K. put air refueling tankers up Middle East for Israel to attack Iran, according to Hal again. The United States and United Kingdom have put aerial refueling tankers in the air, widely dispersed. Many are wondering if they are to refuel Israeli jets to and from an attack upon Iran. The relevant air tankers are Stratotanker #63-8888 from the Prince Sultan Air Base is over Saudi Arabia. Tanker 64-14835 from the Al Udeid base. Airbus KC-2 Voyager from the British Royal Air Force via the Akrati base on Cyprus. They are seen on the map atop this story and have remained in the air for many hours. These aircraft took off hours ago to support CENTCOM operations or Israel, if necessary. As particular matter, if the Israeli Air Force is going to attack Iran from a different axis and in waves, then it will need a lot of flying tankers. So it now appears that both the U.S. and the U.K. intend to actively help Israel. If this happens with the U.S. and U.K. assistance, the Iranians have made it clear that the U.S. bases elsewhere in the region will fall under Iranian missile attack. Stay tuned. We also have Iran on alert. Is being reported from U.S. Civil Defense. Update: war. Iranian air defenses are on maximum alert now as Israel declares it will strike inside Iran. Tehran states it will respond immediately to any attack on its soil. And then here we have Kim Un-jung says that he and North Korea support Iran. I don't think anybody is shocked. I know I'm not. But then this here happened today. Now, guys, I wouldn't make too much of this. And I don't know if this is hype or what. But we've had a lot of things take place over this past, I'd say last year, maybe last 2 years, especially with the Russias and Ukraine and everything else. And this Defcon warning system here stayed at a 5. It never moved. When others had dropped down to a 3 and to a 2, that one stayed at a 5. So I found it kind of intriguing to see that it had moved, and I wasn't the only one that thought it was a little interesting, to say the least. Is it hype? I don't know. But of course, we've got alert channels going all out. The U.S. has downgraded its defense readiness condition, Defcon, from a 5 to a level 4. This indicates heightened military readiness, with various branches such as the U.S. Army, Navy, and Air Force potentially activating at different Defcon levels. Defcon 4 suggests increased alertness, but falls short of an imminent conflict as seen in Defcon 2 during the Cuban Missile Crisis. While Defcon levels are under the control of the U.S. president and not publicly disclosed, this adjustment reflects on ongoing global tensions and the need for preparedness. Now, guys, this here is just, again, this isn't the president's DEFCON level. I want to make sure everyone knows that this warning system is a private entity, just like the one that we follow over here. Now, if this one had went down, I think I might really probably gotten a very alerted, but it's still at a 3. So for United States, and why they're at a 3, everybody, they, like I said, this is a this is their own, this is a different system, I guess, and they analyze things a little different than the other one does, but they're still at a 3. So I don't know what to think of it. I think we know, if we weren't already at a 4, I can't say that, with everything taking place, I don't think that that's a surprise. I know I'm not surprised. I hope you're not. Okay, Heidi. But I think it's rather interesting to see these things taking off like this. Then we have Times of Israel. After the war cabinet meets, Israeli officials say plans to keep Iran guessing on response. So, although they have said that they're going to strike, could it be within Iran, out of Iran? I don't know. They're trying to make it to be all, like, we'll strike when we want to strike. We're not going to be pushed into it. But, yeah, I don't know. We know that they're going to act, because if they do nothing, they feel like they'll have more of an opportunity to be hit in the near future. So go figure, right? Okay, so that was Times of Israel. Now we are at the end time headlines, where Iran shuts nuclear facilities and cancels inspections amid fears of an Israeli attack. So Iran closed down its nuclear facilities amid the fears of an Israeli attack, the United Nations has revealed. Inspectors were blocked from the site on Sunday. Rafael Grossi, the UN's International Atomic Energy Agency chief, said. The shutdown came as Israel's war cabinet was locked in talks over how to respond to Iran's first direct attack on its territory. Experts have warned Iran is on the threshold of becoming a nuclear power and could build a bomb in 6 months to a year. Uranium enrichment is accelerating as the regime faces calls to create a deterrent. There is the limited evidence that the Islamic Republic wants to create a nuclear bomb, and Israel is not understood to be preparing an imminent attack on nuclear facilities. But Mr. Grossi said the UN inspectors in Iran were informed by the Iranian government that all the nuclear facilities we are inspecting every day would remain closed on security considerations following the Iranian strike. He added that the facilities reopened on Monday, but the inspectors were not be coming back there until sometime on Tuesday. The UN inspections are a legacy of now defunct Iran nuclear deal, which exchanged sanctions relief for curbs and monitoring off the nuclear program to prevent Tehran getting the bomb. Inspectors this year found Iran was scaling up production of nuclear fuel, approaching weapons-grade uranium. They also found newly installed equipment, ever faster speeds of uranium enrichment, and planned expansion to double output. The country's Atomic Energy Organization also called the term deterrence in relation to its nuclear program earlier this year. Keesley Davenport, the director of the Non-Proliferation Policy at the Arms Control Association, said Iran is sitting on the threshold of a nuclear weapon. It can build a bomb more quickly than any point in its history. Ms. Davenport warned that Israel's strikes on Iranian nuclear facilities would be counterproductive. A strike against Iran's nuclear facilities should be off the table, she said. Targeting Iran nuclear sites in a reaction to a drone and missile attack that did minimal damage to Israel would be reckless and irresponsible escalation that increases the risk of a wider regional war. A large-scale attack on Iran's nuclear facilities is more likely to push Tehran to decide that developing nuclear weapons is necessary to deter future attacks. The Islamic Republic has warned a severe and painful response to any Israeli retaliation as the regime's supporters urged it to build the weapons of mass destruction. Ablof Amo, the spokesperson for the Iranian Parliament National Security Committee, said, "We are prepared to use weapons we haven't used previously, and we have strategies for every possible scenario. The Zionists should be careful." On social media, Mahdi Mohammed, an advisor to the Speaker of the Iranian Parliament, posted, in addition to its missile program, Iran also has a nuclear program. Ibrahim Raisi, the president of Iran, said on a call Monday with the emir of Qatar, Sheikh Tamim bin Ahmed Al Thani, "We firmly declare that the slightest action against Iran's interest will definitely be met with severe, extensive, and painful response." Netanyahu on Monday summoned the Israeli war cabinet for a second time in less than 24 hours amid pressure from Biden, the U.S., and European allies to show restraint. The Israeli prime minister is also under pressure from hardliners in his own Likud party and hard-right ministers to go berserk, despite fears of the Israeli-Hamas war escalating into a regional conflict. This launch of so many missiles, cruise missiles, and drones into Israeli territory will be met with response. Herzah Halevi, the Israeli military chief of staff, said after most of the drones and missiles dispatched in Iran's first ever direct attack on Israel were shut down, if this government gives into Biden's demands and doesn't use the golden opportunity to attack Iran and eliminate the Iranian threat, as far as I'm concerned, this government no longer deserves confidence, said Tali Galtev, a Likud MP. Every Israeli will rue for years, every passing minute it doesn't attack Iran. If the government is led by cowards, it will be guilty of the inferno, God forbid, afflicted on Israel in the future. Okay. That was a mouthful, wasn't it, guys? Well, then, that's what I say, Heidi. Absolutely. Well, then. Well. That was a mouthful. Okay. So then we also have from End Time Headlines, Iran vows to strike Israel with weapon never used before. So Israel told Iran today that they won't get off scot-free for the attacks as the world waits with bated breath for the response amid fears of the uncontrollable war across the Middle East. But Iranian Security Chief Abba Fahazl Amui last night warned that Israel does respond, then Tehran is prepared to use a weapon that they have never used before. It is unclear what this weapon Amui was referring to, but he warned Israel to act wisely as it considers its next steps. A chief IDF spokesperson responded to the threats, vowing that Iran will face retaliation. The IDF spokesperson, Rear Admiral Daniel Hagari, said, "We cannot stand still from this kind of aggression. Iran will not get off scot-free with this aggression. We will respond in our time and in our place, and the way that we will choose." Colonel Amish D. Breton Gordon, a weapons and defense expert, said that Iran could be hinting at unleashing nuclear, biological, and chemical warfare. Yet the retired Army officer told The Sun it is unlikely that Iran has some new wonderful weapon that nobody knows about that could really have an impact against Israel or the West. What I take from this is further bluster from Iran that obviously desperately concerned that the Israelis are going to hit them back hard. On Saturday night, Iran attacked Israel with a wave of 330 ballistic and cruise missiles and drones, the first ever direct attack on Tehran by Tehran on its enemy. Iran had promised retaliation for a deadly strike on its consulate building in Damascus earlier this month, but its barrage failed to get through Israel's defenses. Israel's Iron Dome defense system and its allied warplanes, including the UK's RAF Typhoon, shot down 99% of the projectiles. In response, Iran's deputy foreign minister Bagheri raged last night, if the enemy makes another mistake, they should know they will not have 12 days, and Iran's response speed will be less than a few seconds. Iran also yesterday vowed to launch 10 times the amount of missiles in a fresh strike against Israel if it unleashes a retaliatory hit. An attack 10 times the size would see over 3,300 weapons hurled at Israel, including more than 1,400 missiles. The recent threats makes another escalation in the blazing power battle between the two foes that is threatening to spark an all-out war across the region. But Israel appears undeterred by Tehran's warning, as it confirmed again last night it will strike back. Dr. Breton Gordon argued that Iran's warnings are a clear sign of its fear. I think that this is a cry from Tehran, he said, adding that the nefarious state will do all it can to persuade Israel to do nothing and draw a line under it. It's clear that Iranian air defense system is nowhere capable of what Israel and her allies put together, the UN's nuclear watchdog chief said yesterday, that is concerned that Israel may target Iran's nuclear sites. Rafael Grossi, head of the International Atomic Energy Agency, urged extreme restraint from Israel. He received that Iran temporarily closed its nuclear facilities over security considerations in the wake of its missile and drone attack. They reopened on Monday, but inspectors were kept away until we see the situation is completely calm. Iran said long said its nuclear program is peaceful, but what accused Tehran of attempting to build nuclear bombs. It comes as Israel's IDF Chief of Staff, Lieutenant General Hariz Halvi, said Israel will respond to Iran's barrage, bolstering other Israeli military comments. They all launch a significant response. This launches many cruise missiles, and drones into Israel territory will be met with a response, he said, in a clearest confirmation that Israel was plotting a revenge strike. Benjamin Netanyahu met with his war cabinet for a second time yesterday after already hitting that plan had been drawn up without specifying their nature of scale. However, a leak from the PM's crunch talks suggests Israeli is planning a painful strike that does not cause casualties. Netanyahu has reportedly asked the IDF to compile a list of targets that Israel could choose to hit that the U.S. would object to. Israel had said it reserves the right to strike Iran at a manner and at a time of its own choosing, and told the UN that Iran crossed every red line in its attack. But the question on everyone's lips is, how will Israel choose to respond? The Sun also told 5 major ways Israel may choose to respond, from fighter jet blitz on Tehran's nuclear facilities to a submarine strike on a large-scale cyber attack. As Iran braces for Israel's significant response, world leaders have pushed for a calm to avoid further escalation. Rishi Sunak has demanded Israel show restraint in response to Iran's onslaught, calling out Tehran for its reckless and dangerous escalation that is the work of its despotic regime. A joint statement by G7 also urged for caution, fearing an uncontrollable war in the region. The UK Foreign Minister David Cameron said that this morning that Iran's attack was significant and Israel has every right to respond. While he urged caution to avoid escalation, he said Israel would make their own decision. The IDF announced Sunday night that they had approved both offensive and defensive actions, but did not reveal further detail. The UN's Security General Antonio Guterres told an Emergency Security Council meeting on Sunday that the Middle East is on the brink. The people of the region are confronting a real danger of devastating full-scale conflict. Now it is time to defuse and de-escalate. Well, I don't know how you'll defuse or de-escalate anything if anybody plans on responding. I don't know about you guys, but I don't think that there's any way you can defuse a situation that is lit and it's ready to explode. I mean, I don't know about y'all, but it doesn't sound like there's going to be a de-escalation anytime soon. Okay, guys, I'm sorry. I'm just a little bit thirsty here. So, okay, so then we have from Hal Turner. This was from yesterday, but I was doing a social media fast yesterday, so I could not do a stream. But next rad weather radar outage nationwide. Now, kind of one of those things, guys. I would encourage people to have, maps, paper maps, as well as, handheld AM, FM radios, there might be more of this, who knows, but at 3 a.m. on Monday morning, approximately half or almost all of National Weather Service weather radars were experiencing a widespread outage, severely impacting the availability of critical weather data. This outage is affecting multiple National Weather Services stations across the U.S. Despite the disruption, there was some relief that no significant weather is ongoing at the moment. However, the outage underscores the importance of reliable weather radar system. Crews at the National Weather Service are actively investigating the spread network outage, working for services. Now, guys, I don't know if you remember, not too long ago during one of the recent storms, there was a outage of weather radar, and so it can be deadly for somebody that if there's a tornado in the area and they can't get those warnings out. It's rather alarming there, guys. Okay. We also have from, I think this is End Time Headlines. What was I trying to share here, guys? Hold on. Let me go back and look. Okay. 12 Republicans led state plan to send a letter to the Bank of America demanding explanation for why it allegedly debunked Christians and other conservative groups. Okay, so let me go and see if we can find that. Sometimes it gets just all messed up, doesn't it? Okay, so here we go. Well, maybe. Okay, so over 12 Republican-led state plan to send a letter to the Bank of America demanding an explanation for why it allegedly debanked Christians and other conservative groups. A dozen Republican-led states plan to send a letter to Bank of America demanding an explanation for why it allegedly debanked Christians and other conservative groups. The letter obtained by Daily Mail, led by Kansas Attorney General Chris Kobach, demands that the financial institution turn over documents related to its account cancellation policies and requests that the bank update its term of services to not discriminate against clients with certain political or religious beliefs. This notice comes after it was revealed that Bank of America sent the FBI and U.S. Treasury private consumer financial data to help the agency investigate crimes related to January 6th Capitol protest. Unfortunately, Bank of America appears to be conditioning access to its services on customers having bank's preferred religiously or political views. Kobach writes in a letter to Bank of America CEO Brian Moyan, obtained by Daily Mail. I'm sorry, guys. Still not quite over this junk. Your bank needs to be transparent with and assure. Okay. I jumped some. Your discriminatory behavior is a serious threat to free speech and religious freedom, is potentially illegal, and is causing political and regulatory backlash. Your bank needs to be transparent with its shareholders, and others that it will not continue to debank customers for their speech or religious exercise. Alaska, Arkansas, Indiana, Iowa, Mississippi, Missouri, Montana, Nebraska, South Carolina, Texas, and Utah officials co-signed the letter. Religious beliefs are not a factor in any account closing decision, a representative for the Bank of America told Daily Mail. We are proud to provide banking services to nonprofit organizations affiliated with diverse faith communities throughout the United States. However, the memo details several instances of apparent discrimination against Christian groups, including Bank of America canceling their accounts. Specifically, the letter notes how the financial institution debanked the Christian ministry groups Timothy II, Project International, Indigenous Advance, and the Memphis, Tennessee-based Church Servants of Christ. Kobach writes the Bank of America canceled the Timothy II Project account for operating a business type we have chosen not to service. He also wrote how Indigenous Advance similarly had its account canceled because the bank claims it's no longer aligns with the bank's risk tolerance. Bank of America, however, told Daily Mail that Indigenous Advance operates a business in Uganda, and the bank does not serve small businesses operating outside the United States. So you got to know that they're going to come back with some kind of, fine line, fine red tape there. They're going to come back with it. They know they messed up, right? Hey, Dr. Joey. Good job, Dr. Joey. Good job. Good job. I'm so glad to hear that. I know you probably won't get real results, though, till the 22nd, but you know you are in my prayers, brother. In my prayers. And keep the eyes on that road. Okay. So, good news, Dr. Joey. So glad to hear that, brother. All right. So, then we have from the Bank of America debacle to more Bank of America stuff. U.S. Bank closes 10 branches in a single week while Bank of America shuts 3. So official data show that the U.S. Bank filed to close 10 branches in a single week while Bank of America will shutter 3. The closure add to the hundreds of branches that have shut down this year amid concern Americans are being left without access to basic financial services. According to the figures from the Office of Comptrollers of the Currency, 14 bank branches were closed in the week ending April 7th. But in promising news, just as many new branches were opened thanks to concerted efforts by Wells Fargo and JP Morgan Chase. The findings offer hope. America's so-called bank branch bloodbath shows signs of stalling. U.S. banks opted to close 4 banks in Ohio, while there were 3 affected Bank of America branches are located in California. The openings were primarily in Texas, New York, and Illinois. In 2023, more than 1,500 bank branches were shut for good, with California and the Midwest worst hit. Dozens of readers wrote to Daily Mail to express concern of the closure, as some now need to see the cross state lines to get their closest bank. One wrote, PNC shut down our local branch, which was 3 miles away. Now I must go an adjoining city or across the river to Ohio to make deposits or for other banking needs. It's totally inconvenient, and as a senior citizen, the extra mileage wastes gas. Another reader in the 80s wrote, this is all very distressing to both my husband and me. We've already had several bank closures and have to drive further and further to find our banks. What happens when we can no longer drive? A banking desert is a neighborhood where no bank branches are within 10 miles of its center. Just a handful of states, Arkansas, Mississippi, Nebraska, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Tennessee, West Virginia, and Wyoming, experienced a net gain of branches. West Virginia was the only state that did not lose a single bank branch throughout the entire year. The majority of Americans are concerned about widespread bank branch closures, which are hitting lower income households the hardest. Well, obviously, if guys, you live penny to penny, paycheck to paycheck, you account for all your gas, And that includes the gas that it takes to get to the bank. And then you have to add more money to your tank because guess what? Your bank branch just closed down and you got to go to the next town or to the next state. It is crazy. Not bragging, it's an emergency card. I hear you, sister. You have a well, I hear you. My mom banks with Bank of America. We've tried to get her to quit, but she's been with them for so long, and I don't know. She just thinks it's too much to switch. She just thinks it's too much. But hey, I do not bank there. I did once upon a time, and I'll tell you, and this is when we were working. I did not like the way they did business. Let's just say that it was not kosher. That's all I'm going to say. And they moved the arm further away. Wow, that's crazy, Joni. See, and if you're not the only person that is having these issues, it's becoming a major crisis. And so what is everyone going to do? I mean, and you can't just go to an ATM anymore because they're even taking those out of some places. So it's getting to be a hassle just to even have a bank. Just saying. It's sad, but it's true. Okay, so here we have all of this uproar in New York City, guys. There's a lot of crap going down the pipeline coming out of New York, let me tell you. So Raw Alerts puts out swarms of hundreds, possibly thousands of undocumented immigrants have gathered outside New York City Hall for a meeting centered on their experiences. Currently, hundreds, if not thousands, of undocumented immigrants are currently gathering outside New York City Hall, lining up for a meeting migrants and their experiences in the city. The city council is forming a team of advisors to enhance migrants' experiences, with the goal of improving conditions even further, according to the speaker, Edrina Adams. She expressed pride in forming the new arrival strategy team, which will unite government experts and other stakeholders to craft a roadmap for advancing our city and better serving both newcomers and longtime residents in partnership with government and the nonprofit sector. That's a lot of men, guys. Gosh, a lot of men. That's men. There's women go the other way, but I don't think that they were part of the bunch that was there. That's a lot of men. Let's watch that again. I'm gonna mute it. I don't know. Kind of sounds horrible, doesn't it? Anyway, there's a minute of it. They're talking, but that's a lot of men. Is that all that's there? Well, there's a woman, a couple of women there, but my goodness sakes, guys. That's scary. Just saying. Woo-wee. Okay, so then we have crazy numbers. Crazy numbers for crazy people like us, right? More than the population of 36 states in just over 3 years. This is from Elon Musk. I am very much in favor of legal immigration, being an immigrant himself, but allowing a flood of millions of unvetted people to enter the United States illegally is insane. And here is a lady that says 7.2 million have entered here illegally. That's a lot of people, guys. Crazy numbers, wouldn't you say? This here's from Graham Allen, and it says, so the illegal immigrants are now protesting outside New York City Hall for better conditions on our dime. I'm sorry, what? They don't even pay taxes. How about they protest for better conditions in their own country? And I can't agree more. And that's the same coverage from the other video, but I liked his comment. I couldn't agree further. Why didn't they protest in their own countries? Okay. And then constitutional crisis. Absolutely, guys. So there are flyers being distributed at the NGO in Mexico encouraging illegals to vote for you know who. You can't make this stuff up. If I could, I probably would have thought to do this. I can't speak Spanish though, so I couldn't definitely write it. Maybe I could get an app or something. I don't know, but the real stuff is too much fun, so why even try, right? But anyway, so yeah. So they're telling everyone that's coming in here. And it's been just a horrible nightmare in so many places. And they're setting this up, guys, for this to be a real thing. Here is from Yahoo News, from Salon. I definitely say that. It kind of sums up today, right? Congressional Republicans could oust Speaker Mike Johnson over the Ukraine funding. We have Major Taylor Greene, guys, calling for his removal again. Now, I've seen several different tweets on this one, guys. I am going to tell you that I think, and this is just my opinion, that we're going to be in a big mess if that gets heard and they try to oust him. And the reason I say this is because guess what? We only have a 1-seat majority. How in the world do we think with a 1-seat majority are we going to, really oust anybody? Even if he deserves to be ousted, I think he definitely was a poor choice, absolutely a poor choice. We've been praying for godly men, and he fits that bill, but I don't know. He doesn't fit the bill in other areas. So anyway, absolutely crazy. And then we see some flooding taking place in Dubai. This is supposed to be at the Dubai airport. Look at that. The airplanes are that's crazy. And they're still going, guys. Nothing's going to stop them planes from getting off the ground. That's a tough airport there, let me tell you. I don't know about y'all, but I think they need to shut down their airlines. Just saying. Kind of dangerous if you can't see the runway. My opinion. Just saying. Here is an update. Emergency evacuation. The IAEA will withdraw its inspectors from Iran's nuclear facilities due to tensions in the region. Yeah. Okay. Who knows what I was rambling on about here? Oh, okay, guys. This is absolutely I'm going to talk about this tonight on Bible. But this is absolutely insane that they, at some mega church, have a male stripper for a male conference, right? I mean, this is the things that who in their right mind thinks that this is, what should be taking place in a church? I'm telling you, if any church that I knew of was carrying on in that fashion, I would not attend that church anymore. But this poor man has gotten all kinds of backlash because he stood on God's word. And then I hear that he came back. I heard he came back, and I don't know. So I think it's crazy, guys. Absolutely crazy. It's insane. And the Lord gave me a word, and we will cover that later tonight, guys. I don't want to get on that right now, but I'll tell you, I've heard other pastors and other people speak in the same word. So I definitely want to deliver this message. It is an on-time message, I believe, especially given the recent events. So we will cover that tonight. So I'm excited, looking forward to Bible. I hope to see you guys there. All right, so then we have this open source intelligence. I'm going to let this play out. This is 1:12, okay?
All right, guys, this is Savannah Hernandez in front of City Hall in New York. And as you guys can see, I am surrounded right now by hundreds of illegal immigrants from New Guinea and also from Haiti, all right? So majority single men from Africa. Now, I want to take you guys around what this park looks like, and more importantly, what every single park in New York is starting to look like. Just yesterday, I was in the East Village area, and there were two children's parks right next to a church the city is currently using to house single males. So children are playing right next to this. More importantly, the city of New York has spent $2 billion at this point on this crisis. They said that through 2025, they're going to try to spend $12 billion because that's what it's going to take to sustain all of these people. Now, typically you'd be able to speak to these migrants in Spanish, but unfortunately, all of these people now speak French. We have been told as American citizens that all of these people are coming into our country because they are seeking asylum, but every single migrant that I've spoken to today has talked about how they are here simply to work. So I want to highlight for you guys what our American cities are starting to look like.
Yeah, I thought that was rather interesting. So they're here to work. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, then we have this here video was crazy, guys. I mean, okay, so let's watch this. This is crazy. There's no sound, but it turns green. This is Dubai. Look at how green, guys. Is that just not the craziest stuff? I mean, that was pretty green. I don't know about y'all, but that was weird. Absolutely weird. And then there's this video of lightning there, as if we don't see enough lightning here, but this is just all this lightning. The difference in the color of the sky changing too. We got a little green there, a little red, purplish. Mm-hmm. All that lightning in Dubai. That's crazy, guys. All right. Possibly a new pandemic coming on us. Monkeypox, mutant strain with pandemic potential, has been found in a town in Congo, Africa. Daily Mail, guys, and then of course, there was another one that followed it. That was Disclosed TV. Here's the insider paper. The new mutant strain of monkeypox with pandemic potential is discovered in Congo Village as health officials call for urgent measures to contain it. Daily Mail reports. So, speaking of all of this pandemic, is there enough being talked about with the drug shortages? You got a new pandemic. Well, we've got drug shortages. Is there going to be medicine to cover it? I don't know, guys. Hundreds of drugs are in short supply around the U.S. pharmacists warn. I can tell you personally that I know people that are having issues getting some of their prescriptions filled, having to, call doctors. And we're talking about people that take some important pain medication and other prescriptions. And so we have, this taking place, and it's not, and there's really not, how shall I say, there's not a known reason for this shortage outside of there's a shortage. I guess maybe having trouble in shipping. I don't know. But we have a growing number of drugs that are in short supply around the U.S., according to the pharmacist. In the first 3 months of the year, there are 323 active medication shortages, surpassing the previous high of 320 shortages in 2014, according to a survey by the American Society of Health System Pharmacies, the ASHP, and Utah Drug Information Service. It also amounts to the most shortages since the trade group started keeping track of it in 2001. So all drug classes are vulnerable to these shortages. Some of the most worrying shortages involve generic sterile injectable medications, including cancer chemotherapy drugs and emergency medications stored in a hospital crash carts and procedural areas, the ASHAP said in a statement. Most of the drugs in short supply are generic older products, and about half are injectable drugs that are hard to make. Aaron Fox, Associated Chief Pharmacy Officer, University of Utah Health, told CBS Money Watch. Because the FDA says all generics are equal, the only way to compete is on price, creating a race to the bottom that results in companies either halting production of the drugs or taking cost-saving shortcuts in quality, Fox said. The Biden administration remains focused on strengthening the resilience of critical supply chains, including for medical products like pharmaceuticals, the White House told the Money Watch on Friday. The effort to ensure Americans can access medicine they need when they need it, with steps including investing $35 million in domestic production of materials needed to produce sterile injectable medicines. Drug shortages have plagued the nation's healthcare system for several decades, largely due to market failures and misaligned incentives, the Department of Health and Human Services stated in a paper published earlier this month. Something just struck me just as I was, reading this. I have to go back here. The last time we had a previous high since they started tracking this was in 2014. I wonder who was president in 2014. Let's look. I know who it was, but we just gonna put it up there for everybody to see. Are we seeing the similarities through maybe this administration and that? Either ironic, huh? So many similarities. Mercy. The similarities never cease, I say. Hello, Todd. How are you? Anyway, just wanted to show you that why we were on this. Anyway, goodness sakes. We'll continue. We also have this here from Twitter. Now, I'm not going to play his rant, but it is here for you guys to go and check out. He says a few choice words, but the rant is absolutely, positively, I say explainable. He's really mad that this judge is saying that this man is the devil. He said Trump is not allowed to go to his son's graduation. Now, there's a lot of things going on right now. And so, Trump wasn't allowed to go to someone died. I think it was his mother-in-law died. He wasn't allowed to do that. So why would they think that it would matter to him that his son graduated? A death and graduation, pretty sad, but yeah. So, yep. Anyway, pretty sad. So I can see why he's mad. Anyway, now guys, I'm going to tell you, I'm mad because every day I wake up and I see the most insane and outrageous articles that kind of it's like a slap in the face. Are we in the United States of America? Are we in some banana republic? Because I'm here to tell you, I feel like I'm in some banana republic, some place that has no constitution, that is supposed to protect us against the deranged people in control, and anybody that thinks that this republic is not in trouble, you've not been paying attention. And this is an atrocity here, guys. That first and foremost, that this child's freedom of speech is attacked. But that this is, but that we are going to, punish a child for, I guess, for his homework, which, they didn't say was right or wrong, but because he used a specific word. Okay, so I'll tell you, David, that if your doctor is giving you a 90-day supply, that's a good thing. That way, if there is a shortage, you have a little cushion, right? And I would say yay, because most doctors are trying to give 90-day supplies for that simple reason right there. Um, I'm just I will tell you, my husband gets frustrated because his insurance pays the same amount if it's a 90-day supply versus a 30-day supply. It doesn't matter if he gets 30-day pills or if he gets 90-day pills. The doctor has written the scripts for 90 days, and there for a minute he was getting them for 90 days, and then all of a sudden, whoop, 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 some of them started spooting out back at 30 days. And so you have to stay on top of it. But um, it is good. And so I would say that your doctor is looking out for you, David. And that's awesome, brother. Okay. So, yes, I'm mad. I'm mad. I'm beyond mad. I am tired of seeing children be attacked. This here is a 16-year-old that is being attacked for doing his homework. He is his freedom of speech in an English class because apparently he used the term illegal alien during a vocabulary assignment. And so, therefore, the principal and everybody else found it to be offensive because there were some Hispanics in his classroom. So they found it to be offensive. Not that the children were offensive, not that any kid in that classroom found offense with it, but the people in the class found it offensive. So, hence, this poor 16-year-old kid at this Central Davidson High School in Lexington, North Carolina, is facing a 3-day suspension last week for using the term illegal alien during a vocabulary assignment. I think it's ridiculous. Ridiculous. Now, mind you, I will go out on a limb and I will say this. If your feelings get hurt because somebody says illegal aliens, well, you are, there's just, you're going to get offended if someone says pink and you don't like the color pink. You're going to be offended if someone says black and you like white, or if you like white and you like, or you don't like white and you like black. Guys, get a life and get a dang grip. I'm here to tell you, put on some big girl panties and big boy panties. If these words offend you so much, you need to go home and crawl under a rock and don't come out of your home, because everything is going to offend you. I am here to tell you. That's funny, Heidi. Oh, mercy. That's funny. I'm here to tell you. I think I'm going to go get a shirt and just wear it that says illegal alien on it right here, because I'm so dang on tired of people dang on getting offended. Now, I don't want to offend anybody. You guys know this. I'm a Christian woman, but this is ridiculous. This is beyond ridiculous. When children can't say illegal alien in some kind of paper that they were writing or whatever in an English class and get 3 days suspended, not for a profanity, because let me tell you, I've heard some profanities come out. I have seen in the news lately that people have been raped in schools, but there's no suspension for that. They tried to cover the crap up. I have seen all kinds of atrocities come out of these schools, but here we are going to get offended over a dang on illegal alien. I'm here to tell you, enough is enough. I'm sorry I'm screaming, guys. I am. You guys know when I get mad, look out, because I just unleash. I can't help it. I'm one of them people that I'm very passionate about the United States of America and the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. There is no liberty and no justice if any child in America is getting suspended for saying illegal aliens. None whatsoever. None. I have a good mind to get in my car and drive to daggone North Carolina and picket that daggone school. I'm telling you, I'm so hot. This is ridiculous. People, you need to take America back. Thank you, Sister Heidi. Thank you so very much. I appreciate that. You need to take America back. Start with your children. Start with those classrooms. Don't allow them to be pushed around and knocked around and kicked around. Enough is enough.
When they indoctrinate the kids, you're only supposed to teach them.
Absolutely. From the peanut gallery in the bathroom, fixing my bathroom. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just so sorry, but I'm not sorry. I'm just done. And I know y'all thought I just went crazy, but
You did.
I did. I will admit it. Illegal alien. 3-day suspension. Give me a dang break. You got kids beating the hell out of each other in the school halls. And what's happening? What's happening to these children? I ask you, nothing. Kids are being bullied daily, but nothing happens. You say the word illegal alien, 3-day suspension. Do not pass go. Go on home. So guess what? I'm going to encourage, and God, please forgive me. Everyone needs to write illegal alien on their paper and send it in. I hope every teacher across the United States is offended. And then put on their smile, Jesus loves you. Of course, Heidi. Of course, sister. Of course. Of course. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And please don't nobody put illegal alien on your paper and send it in. I don't want to get 100 calls from everybody saying, the lady on YouTube said to do it. So I did it. Guys, I'm being sarcastic. I'm not being serious. I'm just mad. It's ridiculous. My husband in there. He's working hard, guys. Anyway, guys, I just can't. I wake up and I see these kind of headlines. What kind of world where are we going? What does this future hold for my grandchildren, for your grandchildren, for your children? Maybe you just had a baby. Maybe your marriage and your life is just starting off and you have a child. This is, you guys, you need to start thinking, and I would recommend homeschooling, but if you have to send your child to a public school, definitely don't send it to that one. Let's make sure Central Davidson High School gets a lot of homeschoolers all of a sudden. I mean, come on. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And I just can't even say, we have a constitution, the First Amendment. What is going on? I didn't do it, sister. I promise. I promise I didn't do it. That was, not me. I didn't even see it. So they must have did it as you posted it, sister. They must have did it as you posted it. But this is crazy stuff that is taking place. Are we not in the United States of America supposed to be the greatest country in all of the world? We're going to pick on a 16-year-old. I don't know if it says his grade, but we're going to pick on a 16-year-old. It doesn't say his grade. High school student, because he said illegal alien. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. They are indeed. The things that they allow, to take place have gone so overboard that it's not even funny. I have seen videos of parents standing up in these meetings, school board meetings, that they're reading these pornography, and I'm talking some pretty hardcore pornography books in these meetings, guys. It's ridiculous, but yet we're gonna send home and suspend a kid for saying the word illegal alien. Absolutely ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. I tell you, I think my mom, I'm glad I'm not in school today. I mean, I sprayed perfume and I got a well, I didn't spray the perfumes. It was my perfume that I let somebody use when we were in PE. It was at a private school too. It was at the private school that I went to. But anyway, I let somebody use perfume, okay? I let them use the perfume. And she didn't give it back to me in PE. She sprayed it in class. Well, before she gave it back to me. Well, I got this. She didn't get the suspension. I got the suspension because it was my perfume. Well, if you don't think that my mom went upstairs with her head exploding, and we're talking about, this is a Christian private school. My mother was a Christian woman, but when it comes to attacking her child and what right is right and wrong is wrong, my mom came unhinged. So I can only imagine my mom would probably be put in jail if that was me. I'm just saying, this is ridiculous. We've got to stand up for these children, guys. We can't allow this. We need to be on the phone with North Carolina's representatives and tell them that this is unacceptable. This is unacceptable in the school system. Wherever you live, you need to be on the phone with your state representatives and say, look, I'm here to tell you, this better not happen in my school. We've got to make sure that that our constitutional rights are being protected. And if these people in office are not going to, protect your rights, you vote them out. Now, granted, we got all this, no mercy. Let's see where we was. We got these letters going around. I think it's this one. Yeah, we got letters like this with all of these people that are, flooding. Flooding the streets. That many. It's going to be hard. But guys, we've got to do something. We've got to do something. Because if not, we're going to be the next Venezuela. Anyway, I love you. I apologize for screaming at you. I wasn't screaming at you, but I was hot. And it's just stuff like this that just makes me so mad, because that is not America, guys. What happened to that young kid is not right. It's not. And that's not, that's not what was put in for us. Anyway, that's what I have for you today, guys. That's the rant. I'm sorry if I got a little excited there, but not sorry, because someone needs to stand up to these tyrants. So anyway, if you guys hear me say illegal alien almost every stream, you'll know why. I hope every illegal alien has a wonderful, blessed day. But again, for that kid in North Carolina, my heart goes out to you, brother. It goes out to every single solitary student that is in school, that is striving, to get any kind of academic scholarships. He's trying to get a sports scholarship, and now that may this may taint his scholarship. I pray not. I pray not. But enough is enough, guys. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. And I'm saying it. Enough is enough. We got to protect these kids, and we've got to stand up for them. If we don't, who will? Anyway, God bless you. I love you, and we'll see you later. We will have Bible. I need to be in prayer, right? I'll tell you, I'm hot. You mess with the babies, and I don't take it well. You mess with the Constitution and my freedom of speech, and I definitely don't take it well. Anyway, love you, each and every one of you. Thank you again, Heidi, for that super chat. I appreciate it. God bless you, sister. God bless each and every one of you all. I love you, and we will see you in a little later. I won't be so hot-headed, but we'll be back. Anyway, God bless y'all. Have a wonderful day.